Hey guys, welcome back to Channel Claire. What a morning it has been. I'm out here. I had to go to the MVA super early. I had an appointment at 8:15. And this is a lesson learned. It's a life lesson for me. I've had this whole car situation. I just need to get my tags and whatnot, right? So I go to the MVA and I got all my little documents. I let the lady know, look, I have no clue what I'm doing. Like, I just brought everything that I could possibly think of. She was very sweet, helped me out. You know, I didn't have a form completed even though I thought I did it online, and she highlighted where I needed to fill it out, put me back in the system. Very sweet. I've never had this type of a nice experience at the MVA in my life, so I was very grateful for that. But like, and this is just a little bit of me complaining, I'm just like, I did not know when I woke up this morning that I was going to be paying over $1,200 to get the tags and title for my car. And the reason it's that much and is a life lesson for me, because I did not know, is because I bought my car out of state and it's a little bit newer, even though I'm like, it's a 2016, like it's 2022, but apparently an older car is considered like 2007. So I'm just like, I brought my car in Virginia. I'm a Maryland resident, so I had to register it here, and it was over $1,200 freaking dollars. And I'm just like, she told me, like, she was like, ma'am, I'm gonna tell you it's quite a lot that you owe today. And immediately I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, it's $1,252. I was like, what? Like, I did not expect to wake up this morning and spend like $1,200 freaking dollars on tags, y'all. Like, I'm kind of really fucking blown for a Saturday morning. Like, I'm like, now I gotta figure out, okay, like, I don't even want to spend any type of money, even though I'm like, I'm hungry, I want a breakfast sandwich, but now I'm like, I didn't spend $1,200 to get my tags and title. I can't even go where I typically would go. I need to go right to the dang old McDonald's and get me a sausage biscuit and an orange juice and call it a day, and a hash brown, and call it a day, because this is just ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and I'm sorry for complaining, but I'm just like, that was a life lesson. I will never buy a car out of state. I just will not do it. I will not do it ever again. If this is what I'm gonna have to go through to have to get my tags, pay $1,200 some odd dollars, and I'm just like, if 2016 is considered still new, for these people getting these new cars, I couldn't freaking imagine. Like, if you got a 2020 and you bought it out of state, I couldn't imagine what you would be paying. So I'm a little blown about that. I was gonna get my nails done, but I don't even feel like good doing that at this point. I'm just like, it is expensive to exist, y'all. It is expensive to live. It is expensive to do anything in this world. So yeah, that was my morning. I'm gonna figure out what to eat. I did also want to say that I did a video about the Roe versus Wade. I did it yesterday. I posted it and deleted it because I was very heated. I was feeling very upset, very emotional, very just like, this is really where we are. Like, I felt like we're regressing. It's just like, I can't have control over my body and what I want to do should I be in some crazy situation. Like, people are like out here trying to make it seem like people are using like abortion as like birth control and stuff like that, and it's just like, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that, like, it's our body as a woman. Like, it should be our choice, and it's something that's now being taken away because of like pro-life. But then on the other hand, like, we don't get these guns taken away that have killed children, multiple children, just not even like a month ago, and nobody wants to do anything about that. And if you say anything about it, it's like this whole argument or ordeal, and it really confuses me, and I really don't understand how you can be pro-life one way but then not pro-life when it comes to kids that are here and living, and people that are here are living. Like, what about pro-life of that, and like pro-life of not having people shot down randomly for no fucking reason? Like, so it's upsetting. It is. I feel like for me not to say anything would be some bullshit, because that's not real. I'm upset about it, but I did take down the video that I had up because I was pissed. I was quite pissed. And and I didn't want to come off like that. So I'm upset. I'm very upset. I don't understand it. I don't get what these people are doing. Like, it's amazing that this is what we're dealing with in 2022. Of all the issues that could be, you know, something that, why are we going back to abortion? Like, it's just like there's so many things that need to be handled and dealt with, and like, but we want to do abortion and policing people's bodies, and it's sick. It's sick. And the more that I look around, I'm just like, what is happening around here, y'all? Like, what is happening in these parts? I don't get it. I don't understand. So for all you ladies out there and people who support, like, I feel your pain. I feel your upsetness as well. I share in that with you. For people who don't understand or don't get it, or feel like you shouldn't care, or you shouldn't be emotional, I mean, okay, I don't really get that because it's our bodies. And I think, like, in Arkansas, like, as soon as the order, like, whatever it's called, the order was dropped, like, Planned Parenthood in Arkansas canceled all the abortion appointments that they had, like, just like that. And it's just like, wow. So who knows what all of those women were going to be seen for, what you know, situations they were in of needing the, you know, the operation. It's just like, it's crazy. It's honestly crazy. But it's such a divide. It's such a divide, and I'm seeing this divide so much more in just all these, especially with, you know, the situation with Johnny and Amber. Like, there's such a divide in things, and it's like, especially with politics, if you say one thing wrong, if you don't have this fact exactly right, people are going to come for you. So people don't like talking about politics. They don't like talking about religion. Like, obviously those things people will tell you not to talk about, because it's always going to be some fucking shit. Everybody has their opinion. Everyone's always going to think what you're saying is wrong. So really, at the end of the day, you just have to go with what makes sense to you, what feels good for you, and try to, like, block out all that other shit. Because at the end of the day, we know what's right. And it's just like, so much for the land of the fucking free. Like, I don't understand it. I don't understand how we're the land of the free, yet I can't do what I want with my fucking body. Like, that makes no sense to me. It's the land of the free for some. That's what it is, for some. And those people don't like you talking about it. And they're going to say some shit about you and say that you're wrong and say that you're a horrible person, or say that, oh, you only want abortion as a birth control and this, that, and another. Literally, that was like, when I put my video up, that was one of the first fucking comments I got. And I was like, no, I'm taking this shit down, because that's fucking ridiculous. That's like, I never said that in any way, shape, or form at all. It was a 6-minute fucking video. I never said that. And somehow, after somebody watching, or probably not even watching, made that comment, and I was just like, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this with you. I'm not, like, I don't fucking care. I'm not doing this with people who just have no whatever. So I'm gonna go get a coffee, and I'm going to go get a sausage biscuit or something, and call it a day. I did want to talk about Johnny and Amber and the finalization of the verdict on Friday. The whole Gabby Petito thing and Brian's letter coming out. Oh my goodness. Just wow. There's also some stuff that, you know, I probably haven't talked about on this channel, but it is something that I'm very interested in. I don't know if you know, like, if you watch YouTube, if you watch a lot of YouTube, like, there are different communities in YouTube. You can have your ASMR community, you can have your drama community, you can have your Johnny community. Like, there's different communities. Candle making community. Like, there's so many communities within YouTube. And I don't, like, I'm very much have, like, I started watching YouTube probably, like, religiously, probably back in 2018, and I started watching, like, the big YouTubers, like, the Shane Dawsons, the Trisha Paytas, the Jeffree Stars. Like, if you have no clue about what I'm talking about, I apologize. I'm gonna probably leave this stuff to the end of the video of me talking about it, but like the big YouTubers, and then within those, like the Jake Pauls, the Logan Pauls, you know, James Charles, like those big YouTubers, the Gabby Hannas, she once was big, not so much anymore, but like you guys know, like those big YouTubers that were everywhere, they were making bank, like millions upon millions. H3 with Ethan Klein and Ela Klein, huge. So like within these YouTubers, they're always doing some shit, they're always into some shit, there's always some shit going on. And within those YouTubers, there's a community called like drama channels. And the drama channels pretty much report on what it is that is happening within the world, you know, drama, gossip, this, that, and other. And they also focus in on these YouTubers that are doing all these crazy things on YouTube or in their lives, and this and another, report on that. So there's like a whole other fucking community over here. And I watch all this type shit because I've been very transparent. I love the drama. You know, I'm all in the drama. So if you guys don't know who Trisha Paytas is, oh my god. Oh my fucking god. If you don't know who Trisha Paytas is, please run and type it in right now. Trisha Paytas to me is another Amber, and it's sad because when I started watching YouTube, like some years ago, and it was like back in 2018 when I first discovered Trisha Paytas, and I was going through a bad breakup, and she just had she had videos that would be hour long, like vlogs and get ready with me's, mukbangs, like just talking about her life and everything going on. Yes, so I would be watching her videos, just in the background is noise. She was like a friend and this and another. And then she just started getting really, really fucking toxic. She got this boyfriend, Jason Nash. Well, stuff got toxic. She had a boyfriend before, Sean Vanderbilt, but then she had, that was a bad breakup. And then she got with Jason Nash, who is friends with David Dobrik, another huge YouTuber. There was drama with him and everything. They were friends, so like they dated, and that relationship ended horribly. Y'all, if you don't know who Trisha Paytas is, if you like the tea, if you like the fucking drama, if you want something to just like, swear to God, Trisha will give you everything. So there was a whole situation with that, and her breakup with Jason, it went down horribly. And then once that happened, Trisha, and she was in all this drama with Jason and David, and pretty much got them canceled. It was a whole ordeal, y'all. And then I'm literally trying to do YouTube history in like 5 minutes, which was like kind of impossible. But just for the people who don't know, because I'm probably going to be starting to talk about them because it is something that interests me. And so Trisha, H3 podcast, H3, they are Ethan Klein. He has a group of guys, Dan, AB, like they do this podcast. He's married to Ela Klein, who does Teddy Fresh. She has like her clothing line and everything. So she and Ethan, she was a visitor on Ethan's podcast. And Ethan has a brother, well, Ela, Ethan's wife, has a brother, Moses. And they started off on this podcast of doing like a bachelorette style type thing, and Trisha and Moses ended up getting together. So within that, their families started to get close. Then Ethan and Trisha made a podcast called Frenemies. Now, if you guys have not heard of Frenemies, this podcast was huge, you guys, major. They were pulling millions upon millions of fucking views every time they would get up. Like, it was massive. Like, when I tell you it was something, like, I legit have the merch, and I don't buy fucking merch, but I was all in Frenemies. This is the Frenemies merch. This is the pink zippy, and it says Frenemies in the front. You guys can't really see it, but like, this is their merch from the podcast. And it went down horrible. Like, it started off wonderful. Like, it was entertaining. They would be, you know, talking about, you know, world news, stuff that was happening within like the YouTube drama and their peers and everything. It was so good. And then the drama just came because Trisha and Moses is dating. Moses is Hila's brother. And there was just all this drama, like, oh my god, like insane, to the point where there was all these blow-ups and fights and stuff on. I will try to find some clips and stuff when I get home later to finish this out, but there was just all this fucking drama, and it's just better for you guys to see it. So the podcast ended up ending, all right? They were making bank, and ever since, neither one of them, Ethan, H3, Trisha, they've never been the same. Like, their views have never been the same, just their whole vibes on their channels have never been the same. Like, it was bad, and neither one of them have been able to recover from where they were. Like, they were up here, and it was a hard fucking fall. But I do believe that their podcast is still in like the top 40 or whatever, and like they haven't made a episode in over a year. Like, that's how good it was. But now there's a situation where apparently Trisha is trying to sue H3, Ethan Klein, trying to sue Hila Klein, Ethan's wife and stuff, because she's on the show as well, and she did Teddy Fresh, and Teddy Fresh is the company that did the merch, okay? And the merch came out right in the middle of them having this whole blow up and like canceling the show and everything. So y'all, it's so fucking much. So now though, there's apparently a lawsuit, and Trisha is suing Hila and Ethan of H3, and suing all these drama channels that talk about her for defamation of character. Okay, even though these drama channels are just talking about things that she says and or does, okay, they're reporting on the news, and now she's suing them for defamation of character. Now this Trisha Paytas, y'all, okay, when I say that like she was my girl back in the day when I first started watching her, like she was my girl, I would watch all of her fucking videos. I was all in it. But as time went on, you just really start to see who she was as a person, and like the trolling and just like the inappropriate comments, and especially when things went down with like Jason and stuff, like it was very toxic. With this new boyfriend, now husband, Moses, there was some abuse allegations, just a lot. And like a lot of people compare her to being like an Amber Heard type, because Trisha lies quite a bit. She lies a lot, and lies that have been debunked and been proven that she's lying. Like, she has all of that, and she does have that abuse allegation, allegedly, you know, all allegedly, against her, because Moses, her now husband, who was her boyfriend back then, he even put out the pictures of his arms being like bruised and stuff. She like punched him in the arm, like a big ass bruise. So now there's this lawsuit going on, apparently, with Trisha against H3, Ethan and Hila, and the drama channels that are online, like Rich Lux, Sebastian Soto, Peter Mon, who else is on the lawsuit? Adam McIntyre, like all. And if you guys don't know these names, it's really okay. Like, I don't expect anybody to know what the fuck I'm talking about, but if you do, let me know. All these fucking people and shit. So there's this lawsuit going on for defamation of character, and it's just like, wow, now Trisha is trying to get a lawsuit for defamation of character, probably because how this whole Johnny thing went down. But the situation is that Trisha is very much an Amber, okay? Trisha, I watch these drama channels. They're literally just reporting on the shit that she does and the things that she says. They're just, that's it. I haven't seen anybody like say that she's like, I haven't seen what, like, for defamation of character, what I've seen with like Johnny and Amber, I have not seen that with Trisha and these drama channels. Like, I just haven't. They're simply reporting and using her words, her actions and everything, and reporting what it is that she does and giving their opinions and thoughts along with it. So she's trying to sue for defamation of character. It's just insane how it's gotten to this point, and I think she may have gotten a little bit of push to do this, especially since the verdict of Johnny and him winning. So maybe she's thinking that, oh, since Johnny won, maybe I could win. But like, you guys just are not the same, Trisha. You two are not the same at all. So I don't see it going down the way that she thinks the way that she thinks it should go. But yeah, it's very involved. There's a lot of history. There's a lot of backstory. I will try to, like, when I get home, I'm going to show you guys some video of Trisha Paytas so you know kind of the type of chick she is and, like, what's been going on with her. But, yeah, it's just, I'm definitely going to be following that because I want to see what goes down, because these drama channels, it's like, damn, like, people want to talk about freedom of speech and this, that, and that. Everybody has an opinion, but it's like, there is show proven, like Johnny was able to prove where he was defamed and having lost money. Trisha, I just don't see how she's going to be able to prove that these drama channels have defamed her and made her lose money, when it's like, no, your actions have been why you have lost money. Your actions and blow up on H3 where you were bringing in millions of dollars, y'all. I'm not exaggerating. She was making bank off of frenemies. You yourself destroyed that relationship, Trisha. So that money, if you're hurting for money right now, it's because of you, not because of these drama channels. So we're going to touch on that. I'm finally going to leave up out of here so I can get my breakfast. I don't even know if it's breakfast time anymore. It's like after 10. But yeah, so I'm going to touch you guys when I get home. I'll see you. All right, so I finally made it home. Got my little iced coffee that really isn't good. It's not good at all, but I'm gonna drink it. And I got a sausage biscuit, my little hash brown. I don't know what it is about McDonald's hash browns, man. It's the best. And I got my little sausage biscuit. I also got my lashes because obviously I don't have nothing on right now. I wear these Kiss. I get them at CVS, you can get them at Target, wherever, but every time I go in Target, like, all their stuff is always cleared out. These you're supposed to put on top of your like on top of your lash line, but what I do is, like, I cut these, like, each individual one, I cut it into like 3 sections, and I put it underneath, like underneath my eyelid here, kind of like a lash extension, and then I can wear them for a few days. So that's why you'll probably see, like, one day my lashes look great, the other day it'll look like eh. That's because I've had one for a few days, and I really just don't care because I don't have time to put lashes on every goddamn day. But I also want, you know, a little bit of drama, so I'll be putting these on later. Can't wait. These are the Naked Drama Full and Fluffy Volume Lash Couture by Kiss, so that'll be great. But we are happy because Johnny's about to get paid. Pay him his money, bitch. Pay the fuck up. We know you got it. We know you're in somebody's fucking pocket, Missy, since you plan to still appeal and do all that shit. We know you guys, so pay him his fucking money. It's ordered. The verdict is final. Johnny won officially. It's a wrap, bitch. Fuck you. It says right here, this order is final. It is in bold lettering. This order is final. Pay the money, you fucking lying ass bitch. Pay it. So it says, at the conclusion of the trial and deliberation, the jury returned a verdict in favor of Mr. Depp, thank the Lord, on all 3 remaining defamation counts, and awarded Mr. Depp $10 million in compensatory damages and $5 million in punitive damages, which is just like, oh my god, that shit was funny. And a verdict in favor of Ms. Heard on her defamation count, and awarded Ms. Heard $2 million in compensatory damages. The jury verdict is hereby incorporated into this order by the reference and made a part of this order. It is therefore ordered the jury verdict of $5 million in punitive damages in favor of Mr. Depp is hereby reduced to $350,000, the statutory cap pursuant in Virginia Code. So they met that cap, but we all know The jury saying 5 million was a fuck you, bitch. We don't believe a goddamn thing you're saying. You're lying to our fucking faces, and we don't fucking like it. So you're about to pay 5 million fucking dollars. But that was a statement. That was a statement, because there's a cap. That was a fucking statement to her bitch ass. So fine, we'll get the cap. That's fine, $350,000, okay? So then it goes on. It says, ordered with that respect to the compliant, judgment is hereby entered in favor of Mr. Depp against Miss Heard in the amount of $10,000, please. $10,350,000 with an interest at the statutory rate of 6% per annum from the date of this order. Bitch! You done got yourself fucked up. You done fucked up. Why did you do it? Like, you did not have to do this shit, bitch. Like, this is what I keep coming back to. And I don't feel bad for her. I have no fucking sympathy for her because she did not have to do this. She didn't. She chose to do it on her own because she was greedy as fuck. Oh my God, ordered that the respect to the counterclaim judgment is hereby entered in favor of Ms. Heard against Depp in the amount of $2 million with an interest of statutory 6% per annum from the date of this order. If I were Johnny, I'd be like, here, bitch, take your $2 million, here, take that shit, but run me my check. If anything, I feel like they should like just take that out of the $10,350,000, like make it like $8 million, and just, I don't think he should have to write her a check for shit. You fucking bitch. He's been writing checks for her ass for fucking years, and she didn't appreciate that shit. He wrote her checks for $7 million fucking dollars, and she didn't do what the fuck she was supposed to do with that money then. He shouldn't write her another goddamn fucking check. And did y'all see the picture of her out? And this is why I especially don't have sympathy for this woman, because did y'all see her out at the fish market? This woman is the biggest fucking troll. Like, she knows what she's doing. She knows exactly what the fuck she's doing. She's at a fish market. When we know what Johnny called her in that beautiful text that he wrote to his friend. Beautiful, beautiful words he wrote. Truthful words about her ass. So she's at the fish market, trying to garner sympathy, or trying to like make it seem like, yeah, I am at the fish market, this is what Johnny called me, like trying to get people to like remember that shit. No, bitch, he was right about you, so now you gotta send him the money. Run him his fucking check. Run it. And then I also saw, I'm happy about that. I'm happy about that. I think Johnny should take it and fucking run. He shouldn't give her no goddamn mercy, because she showed him none. Showed him nothing. So he should take them checks, put it right in his pocket. And I wonder what happens if she defaults on like the payments, because it says by this date of this order. So what happens if she defaults on those payments? Like, and just doesn't, you know what I mean? So then I also saw the email from Adam Waldman to like Benjamin Chu, Camille, and everything like that, and it's subject as urgent, all right? And this just shows like, they're just disgusting. So the email from Adam Waldman to Ben and Camille and stuff, it says, I have interviewed Drew. Here are the key points from that call. 1, Rocky and Amber's sworn stories that she was summoned by an 8:07 p.m. text to come help her with a berserk Johnny was a lie. You lying fucking bitch. Rocky was hiding in penthouse 5 all along, almost certainly in the coat closet by the front door. This is my thing. I got a coat closet by my front door. You're hiding in the coat closet by the front door. At no fucking point, as you're in this coat closet, hiding in this fucking coat closet, Raquel, knowing that you're about to do some shit that you know is a lie, you're trying to set this man the fuck up, at no point in time do you think this shit is not right. I am hiding in a coat closet trying to come out and catch and be a part of this. At no fucking time do you say this is not right. You're hiding in a coat closet for this woman? For real? Like, Rocky, come on. Come on. Almost certainly in the coat closet by the front door, which explains both the security guard's testimony that she never came past them. It's all a fucking setup. It's all these women. I'm so glad that Johnny is away from these people who had everything but ill intentions for him. And I hate that Amber sat up in her interview and said, I have no ill intention or ill will towards Johnny. That's all you have towards him. It is proven in every step of the way, all the plans and all the shit that you did and manipulation you did, including other people in it. Like, y'all, and you were living in this man's house. How dare you? How dare you? Where was I? That she never came past them and was already in the apartment when they entered. In Johnny's, that Rocky just came out of nowhere past his right shoulder to go stand with Amber. Right, like, he was like, bitch, where the fuck did you come from? I know Johnny was, oh, hell no. Y'all are trying to get me caught the fuck up in here. Y'all are trying to, I see what's going on here. I'm getting the fuck out of here. Let me get my shit. Y'all ain't about to do this. You concocted shit. You coming out of closets. I know your fucking ass wasn't. Poor Johnny. Poor Johnny. Super important fact, and I hope he will repeat it. This makes the whole thing a setup, exactly, and discredits both of their testimonies. They goddamn fucking lied. Like, they're liars. Oh my god, like, I don't understand how one keeps up with all of these lies. Well, obviously she doesn't keep up with all of these lies. None of her story matters. But I don't understand why someone would do this to themselves. Like, the stress that would be on me, knowing that I fucking lied about something. Like, I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep, I don't understand how these people are just going about their normal fucking lives knowing that they did this to this man. Y'all are crazy. Like, y'all are crazy. You have no emotion, no type of, like, it's disgusting. Discredits both of their testimonies. 2, Amber was sleeping with Musk all the week after the 21st. Obviously not on Franco's night, the 22nd. I love it. Wow. So all the week after the 21st, Elon was up in that joint. For real? For real, Amber. Like, the disrespect, like, the disrespect, you guys. Like, it's just like, wow. 3, Amber and Musk were into some kinky things together. He didn't elaborate. So Drew is spilling all the goddamn tea. He's been the most honest out of all of this fucking shit. He's spilling all the tea. So what kinky things do we think that Elon and Amber are into? I can imagine it has something to do with pain, straps, belts, whips, force, submission, and all types of that type of things. I could completely see Amber being like the dominatrix type, and, you know, like, I could see that. I could and Elon being like the submissive. Oh, I see that shit. 4th, she did have marks on her at the time. He even seemed to suggest she had marks on her the night of the 21st, although of course we know this is not true. Do we know if he ever made a declaration to Amber? I bet he did back then. 5, there was a long gap. Oops. 5, there was a long gap between Johnny's departure and calling the cops. Perhaps an hour or more. Right, so you can get all your, okay, what story we want to tell? What do we call Spectre? Mass chaos. Trying to figure out what the fuck they're about to do. Perhaps an hour or more. He couldn't be precise. During that time, they were all sat together on Penthouse 3 on the phone with Samantha Spector, right, her divorce lawyer, who was guiding them to write it all down to get their story straight before calling the cops. They convolute. I'm so happy that Johnny is away from this group of people who literally were just there, rounded up by Amber, to take him for everything he fucking had and ruin his goddamn life. Just, like, come on. We see through this shit, and she's still trying to act like, I didn't do anything. It wasn't me. Why do you guys all hate me? I don't get it. Like, this order is final. Pay our man right the fuck now. And then, of course, she has to have a fucking statement saying, well, the spokesperson for Amber Heard, aka Eve Barlow, as stated in yesterday's congressional hearings, you don't have to ask for a pardon if you're innocent, and you don't decline an appeal if you are right. So basically saying, because Elaine declined to say anything about this whole situation, but following the spokesperson for Amber Heard, and Robin Bourne wasn't there, which is kind of weird. Elaine was there. And yeah, she wants to say, as stated in yesterday's congressional hearings, you don't ask for a pardon if you are innocent, and you don't decline to appeal if you are right. Just shut up, Eve. Shut up! Damn! Like, what the fuck? I'm so happy for this to be rounded up and be fucking done. We have the jury's verdict in black and white with the yeses all the way the fuck down. Like, it's a wrap. It's done. Amber, please do not write another fucking book. Like, please stop popping up in fish markets and 99-cent stores and fucking TJ Maxx's. If I see you in a fucking Marshall's, it's really gonna be too fucking much. Like, you don't think that people see through what it is that you're doing, or do you simply just not care? You don't care how you look, that people know that this is all a farce and that you're fronting and being fake as shit, like, and trying to act like you're fucking normal or broke or this, that, and other, when we know that that's not the case. You're in somebody's goddamn fucking pocket. You're thinking about fucking appealing shit. You gotta put money down for that shit. So what is going on? I'm just gonna say I'm so over this woman. I'm so over her. Like, she's goddamn fucking awful. I feel bad for the baby. I'm glad that Johnny has got out of it, you know. But I just feel bad for the baby. This is like, damn, that's really your mother. And you gotta pull up with that shit. The liar of the fucking century is this baby's mother, and she has to be raised by her, and it's just fucking sad. It's fucking sad, y'all. It's horrible. So, Johnny is playing a gig. He's been spotted out, looking good, looking delicious, shaking hands, giving hugs. He's so nice. He's just hot. I've been seeing some comments, people say, like, I'm drooling over Johnny. I'm like, maybe I am drooling over Johnny a little bit. Like, he's hot. Like, he is. He was, like, one of my favorite, like, movies. Okay, so it was, okay, I don't know if you guys remember. I remember, like, one of my I can't believe I'm saying this, but, like, one of my first crushes, y'all remember Pocahontas? The animated version. John Smith, I thought he was fucking everything. I don't know. I loved John Smith. I'm also trying to remember who else. Zoe 101. Do y'all remember, what was his name? Logan. He had like the curly hair. He was like the mean one. I thought he was so fucking cute. And then the guy from the 2003 Peter Pan, I think his name was like Jeremy Sumter or whatever. Oh, he was so cute back in the day, like my first crushes. But Johnny, as I started seeing his movies more and more, it was just like, oh my God. And then Orlando Bloom. Oh my God, I was all into Orlando Bloom too. But like, Johnny's just hot. Like, he's hot. I'm sorry. Like, he just, his appeal, like his vibe, his swagger, he just has it all. Like, you have to have it all to have that, like, damn, you know. So yes, I may be drooling over Johnny a little bit. That's just because I truly think that he's a very attractive man, and I don't think I'm alone in that. I don't. But we're gonna get into the Brian stuff. I'm gonna take a break because I do see, I have, oh God, it's so sad. It's so sad. And it's just like, it's traumatic on both ends because the Petitos lost a daughter and the Laundries lost a son. However, I feel as if they knew what the fuck was going down. Like, they knew what happened and wasted so much time, like, and allowed a family to agonize over what the fuck was going on with their daughter when they knew and could have helped, you know? And they're in this trial right now. I'm just like, it's such a sticky fucking situation, but like, you should, I know it's your son, but you should have said something. There was silence. Like, they were taking signs off of people's, you know, porches and off of the Gabby support signs. They were moving those off their lawn. Like, they just did not handle this in the correct way. It's just like, yes, it's your son. You're gonna love them no matter what. And, you know, I get that, but when you know he's wrong, he was flat out fucking wrong. He took somebody's fucking life. You should have said some shit about it. You should have done something about it. You shouldn't have been silent and shut your mouth and wasn't trying to be helpful in any way, shape, or form. Like, that's wrong. Like, that is not okay. So, there's about 8 pages of this notebook, and they have released it, which I never thought that they would. I didn't think that they would release this. I thought it was evidence that was like, oh wow, but you can see Brian Eaton put this up on his Twitter. It's the pages of the notebook 1 through 8. So I have not read all of these yet, so I'm going to be reading it. I'm going to be reading it here in case you have not heard it. If you have, you can fast forward, click off. But I feel like this is something I want to know for myself. And it's all very, I've heard like a little bit, like he's trying to make it seem like she wanted to die. He was doing like as like a mercy killing or something like that. But I'm gonna like actually read it for myself instead of like seeing what the fuck other people are saying. So let me take a quick sec and I'll be back. Okay, so it starts off, he starts it out saying Gabby. Now this first page is a little wonky, like the writing's kind of slanted up, it kind of mixes together. I should probably close this window. It's loud as hell. Apologies. So it's a little weird, so bear with me as I try to read this first page, but it looks like as it goes on, it gets better, which is interesting in itself. Maybe as he first sat down to write, he was very much overwhelmed and overcome and just like, I don't know if you guys can see it, I can show it. Like this first page, not a production, sorry, is very, it's like slanted, you know, and the wording is kind of mixed up a little bit. But then when you get to the other pages, it's like more straight and legible, you know? So maybe, possibly, when he was first sitting down to write this, he was very much overcome and coming to realization with what was actually happening and what he had done and wow, what he was about to do and all of that. This is, my heart goes out to all these people involved. It really does. Like, this is a horrible, horrible situation. It's very tragic. It's sad. And yet again, it just didn't have to be this way. So my heart goes out to the families, and it's just, this is rough. This is fucking rough. And I thank God every day, and I'm so grateful just for my family, because especially like my mom, my sister, like, man, like, I couldn't imagine. So it starts off, Gabby. I wish I was right at your side. I wish I could be talking to you right now. Mind you, this is 8 pages, so it's gonna be long. I've been going through every morning we made, getting even more we could for the future. but last night was exotic. But last night I can't without you. But one last over for our future. I can't lost without you. Like, it's very smudged and it's like kind of jumbled together. I'm trying to decipher. I'll never get to play every holiday together. I'll never get to play with Kat somebody again. So he's saying, I guess, these things that he's never going to be able to do with her again. I loved you more than anything. I can't even look at our photos to recall great times because this is why I cannot go on. When I close my eyes, I will think of lounging on the roof of the van, falling asleep to the sight of this part is very, very smudged, at the Crystal Glacier. So they were on top of a van falling asleep to the sight of something that was at the Crystal Glacier. Geyser. Crystal Geyser? Maybe that's what it says. I will always love you. So that was the first page. So it seems like he's like reminiscing on their time together, things that he's never going to be able to experience with her again, their past times, not being able to look at the photos. He can't, because that's why he can't go on and why he decided to do what he did. And I can see why it's written in the way that it is, because that is some deep shit and intense stuff to realize you're never going to be able to experience those things again because of your actions. Wow. So that's the first page. If you were reading Gab's journal, looking at photos from our life together, flipping through old cards, you wouldn't want to live a day without her, knowing that every day you'll wake up without her. You want to wake up. I'm sorry to everyone this will affect. Gabby was the love of my life, but I love and adore Minnie. I'm so very sorry to her family because I love you. I consider your younger siblings best friends. I'm sorry to my family. This is a shock to you then as well. I'm sorry to my family. I love you. This is a shock to you then as well as terrible grief. So he's saying, I'm sorry to Gabby's family. He knows that, if you're looking at old photos and journals and everything, that Gabby is someone that you're going to miss terribly, and he knows that. He's thinking about all the people that her murder will affect. He's saying sorry to Gabby's family, saying that her siblings were like his own and like best friends. Sorry to his family. This is going to be a shock and a terrible grief. Oh, imagine the mind frame you have to be in, you guys, sitting like in that field and just knowing what you had just done, writing this down, writing the note to the family. It's just the mind frame of Gabby, realizing what was happening to her, looking into his eyes and like, that reminds me of like Shanann Watts, like knowing like, because Chris like strangled her and he's like looking her in the eyes, like, what are you thinking in those moments? Like, Jesus. Wow. That was page 2. Let me go to page 3. They love her much, if not more than me. A new daughter to my mother, an aunt to my neighbors, please, to my nephews, an aunt to my nephews. Please do not make this harder than it is. And as an unexpected tragedy, rushing back to our car, trying to cross the streams of a spent crack before it got too dark, to see too cold, too dark to see, too cold. I hear a splash and a scream. I could hardly see. I couldn't find her for a moment. Shouted her name. I found her breathing heavily, gasping. Something, it's like smudged out, was something cold. The blazing hot national parks. I wonder if there's like an actual write-up of this. So this is like him telling what took place. So I guess that they were out seeing something. And they're running to get back to the car. It's cold, it's dark. He hears a splash and a scream. He couldn't really see. He couldn't find her for a moment. He shouted her name. Then he found her breathing heavily and gasping. And then it kind of like bleeds out. My something was freezing cold and had just won from the something hot national parks. So something of him was freezing and he had won something from the national parks. Interesting. In Utah, the temperature had dropped to freezing and she was soaking wet. Okay, so it was freezing where they were. She splashed in the water, I guess, and he heard the scream. He couldn't see her, couldn't find her. Then when he did, he found her breathing heavily, gasping for air. He's going in to tell us about the temperature and how it had dropped to freezing and she was soaking wet. He says, I carried her as far as I could down the stream towards the car, stumbling, exhausted, and shaking. When my something and knew I couldn't safely carry her. So something happened to him that he knew he couldn't safely carry her. I started a fire and spooned her as close to the heat. She was so thin, had already been freezing too long. I don't know if it says so thin. She was so, I don't know, maybe it says thin, had already been freezing too long. I couldn't at the time realize that I should have started a fire first, but I wanted her out of the cold back to the car from what I started the fire. I had no idea how far the car might be. So that was 4. This is 5, and I apologize, bear with me. So he's talking about the temperature of it being really cold, and he's trying to carry her through this, I guess, marshland area or something where it's wet and stuff, but they're walking. Oh my God, I'm like imagining this scene. Oh wow. And he's saying, and these are his words, okay, of what he's saying took place. And he's saying that he's carrying her and he's stumbling, and something happens that I can't really read, to the point where he realizes he can't safely carry her. So he starts making a fire and he's spooning her, but he's saying that she's already so cold. So he's setting this up to basically saying, like, look, she was freezing. She was already in a bad way. Like, it seems like it's going in that direction. Like, she was freezing. She was already in a bad way. Couldn't carry her. But the thing is, maybe call an ambulance, maybe call a cops or something, but maybe there's no service. But then I saw something out there that, like, somebody went out there. I think it may have been this guy, Brian. Maybe he went out there. I think it was him. And apparently there was service. So, like, I don't know. Like, this is just, like, I can see this so clearly in my mind happening, the way that he's, like, describing this all. Oh my God, Gabby, I'm so sorry, honey. If this is how it went down, like, we don't know. We don't know for a fact. This is what he's saying. But okay. So he was just trying to get her back to the car. He didn't know how he could get her back there. He's trying to let us know these temperatures. It was really, really cold. Let's go to the next one. So this is 5. I had no idea how far the car might be. Only knew it was across the creek. When I pulled Gabby out of the water, she couldn't tell me what hurt. She had a small bump on her forehead that eventually got larger. So that's where the blunt force trauma comes in. He's trying to explain that. Wow. Okay. So she fell in the water. She fell in the water. They're running. They're trying to get back to the car because it's cold. It's dark. She falls. He hears a scream. He's looking for her but can't really see because it's dark. He shouts for her. Eventually finds her. She's heavily breathing, gasping for air. He sees this mark on her forehead that is gradually getting bigger. We don't know how she got that mark or okay. Interesting. All right. So he has her by the fire. He's trying to figure out how to get back to the car. Wow, this is all very intense, you guys. Very, very intense. Small bump on her forehead that eventually got larger. Her feet hurt. Her feet hurt. Her wrist hurt. But she was freezing, shaking violently. While carrying her, she continually made sounds of pain. Laying next to her, she said little lapsing between violent shakes, gasping in pain, begging for an end to her pain. I don't know. I don't know if I could see Gabby like begging for an end to her pain. I could see her begging to get help, begging for him to get her some help. You know, please go find, like, please get back to the car. Like, I could see that. But to end her life, like, she had family and loved ones and her parents. Like, I don't know, you guys. I don't know about that one. Like, that doesn't set right with me. A young girl who has the rest of her life, you know, to live, to just give up and be like, just end this pain. Like, saying that she has no fight in her to, like, want to go on and, like, I don't know about that. She would fall asleep and I would shake her awake, fearing she shouldn't close her eyes if she had a concussion. Okay, so that's 5. 6. She would wake in pain, start her wails, painfully cough again. That I was one waking her, and furious I was the one waking her. So I guess he's saying he kept like shaking her to wake her up because he didn't feel like she should have her eyes closed due to possibly having a concussion. And then it seems like it's saying that she was furious that I was the one waking her up. She wouldn't let me try to cross the creek. Thought like me that the fire would go out. So he's saying that she was begging for her life to end, well, for her to be taken out of this pain that she was experiencing, and that she was furious that he would be shaking her to, like, when he was shaking her to wake her up, and she didn't want him to go across the creek because she was scared that the fire would go out, and he was also concerned about that, and was one of the reasons why he didn't continue on across the creek to go back to the car. There's a lot of explaining going on in here. There is. There's a lot of explaining to try to answer questions one would have. Well, why didn't you do this? Or why wasn't this done? Da, 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 da. You know, but I don't know if I'm like, I don't know. So thought like me that the fire would go out while she was asleep and she'd freeze. I don't know the extent of Gabby's injuries, only that she was in extreme pain. I ended her life. Wow. He said, I did not know the extent of her injuries, but he ended her life. I thought it was merciful. That is what she wanted, but I see now all the mistakes I made. Wow. Wow. Gabby, I'm so sorry. I was in shock, but from the moment I decided, took away her pain, I knew I couldn't go on without her. Wow. I just don't understand how that was the only way to get out of that situation. There have been people who, like, have been trapped between a rock and they cut their arm off and survived. Like, I just don't see this girl as being somebody who would beg to be put out of this pain and just give up and say, I'm not going to fight to try to get back to this car. Like, I don't see that. I really don't. I don't see that. I thought it was merciful. That is what she wanted. But I see now all the mistakes I made. I was in shock, but from the moment I decided, took away her pain, I knew I couldn't go on without her. Wow. This is 7. I rushed home to spend my time I had left with my family. So he's saying that's why he went home. Because he knew once he made that decision that he was no longer going to be in this world. But it doesn't say what he... Wow. 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 I wanted to drive north and let James or TJ kill me, but I wouldn't want them to spend time in jail over my mistakes, even though I'm sure they would have loved to. Just trying to get some I just I am ending my life not because of fear of punishment, but rather because I can't stand to live another day without her. I've lost our future together, every moment we could have shared. I'm sorry for everyone's loss. Please do not make life harder for my family. They lost a son and daughter, the most wonderful, beautiful girl in the earth, Gabby. I'm sorry. Wow. 8. I have killed myself by this creek in the hopes that animals may tear me apart. That may make some of her family happy. Please pick up all of my things. Gabby hated people who litter. And that's written in a different pen. Wow. I have goosebumps reading that. Like, wow. Imagine her family reading that, y'all. I'm always trying to like put myself in like other people's like bodies and emotions and feelings just to like try to understand, like, hearing this about your daughter's last moments and him saying that she wanted this and she wanted the pain taken away and she, you know, didn't want him to leave, but I just, oh my God. That's rough. That is rough. Wow. That's crazy. Someone said I could have brought her to a hospital. They had a car, question mark. Exactly, just what I said. She probably broke her wrist and her ankle. They obviously had fuel in the van. He could have easily brought her to a hospital. I don't buy a word of that. Holy shit, I have no words, yeah. I believe there was blunt force trauma to the back of the head, if I'm not mistaken, but yes, still, definitely, we need an AD. Wow. Never imagined we would ever get to see this, exactly. Kind of a non-confession, actually. Thanks for posting this. Very interesting read. Why does this seem suspect to me? Yeah. Yeah. So he's saying this was a mercy killing? What? Yeah. So yeah, you guys, like, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about that. I just don't feel like Gabby would just be like, fuck it, like, I'm in pain in this shit now, like, we're not even gonna try to get across this creek. Like, I just don't see that. Or not, like, getting an ambulance. Or being like, okay, we're about to build this fucking fire real quick. Well, I'm about to build this fucking fire. You are going to stay here. I'm going across this creek. I'm getting this fucking car and we're gonna fucking do this shit. We're going to do this. We're getting out of this shit alive. We're going to do this shit. Like, I feel like it would be that type of situation. Like, I got you. This is going to happen. Like, look at me. Like, having that type of conversation. We're going to fucking make it through this. Like, none of that. Like, I just... Wow. Someone said, I somehow doubt this is an accurate portrait of events, but who knows, right? We don't know. We never know. And now I find the complete write-up in the text after I just struggled all the way through that. I apologize, you guys, if you watched this and got to this point. Thanks. I did struggle through that, but I wanted to read it, like, in his words. And and seeing that on page and, like, just the ending with, you know, please pick all this stuff up. Gabby hated people who littered, and it's just, wow. I want to know what you guys think about this letter. Are you guys feeling like this is an accurate portrayal of what took place? I mean, I can see it in my head, but I cannot see Gabby giving up like that. I don't see that. I don't see Gabby getting furious at him, that he's shaking her awake. Like, I don't see that. This is wild. My heart goes out to their families and them reading this, and I could imagine that being like a, Jesus Christ. Wow. Yeah, so everybody is saying the same thing. Someone said, so let me get this straight. She didn't want him to leave to the van in case the fire went out and she froze, It was okay to mercy kill, strangle her to death. Methinks BS. Dang. All right. Well, that's what it is. Then ultimately, at the end of the day, the only people who know what really went down and took place is Gabby and Brian. That's it. Those are the only people who know what took place. And God. That's it. So that's sad. Like, that's really, really sad. I feel bad. I feel like I got goosebumps reading that. Like, jeez. So if you've made it to the end of this video, hey, how you doing? After the Gabby and Brian stuff, this is a little bit of a more non-serious, less intense topic. Kind of emotions flowing right now. But I promised I'd show you guys who Trisha Paytas was if you didn't know who Trisha Paytas was. So I'm going to do that. Now, this is the extreme of Trisha Paytas. Trisha Paytas is known for her kitchen floor breakdowns, you guys. She's known for the cosplaying. She's known for just doing whatever it is possible to get attention. And she's very transparent about that. She says and does things to be that polarizing person, to get people to talk about her, to this and that. Like, that is literally how she started her career. She just wanted to be famous. Like, she's said that multiple times. So these are the extremes of her. She no longer lives in this apartment. She has moved into this like big ass house with her now husband Moses, who is the brother of Ethan, and Hila, with whom she apparently now allegedly is trying to go after with a lawsuit for unpaid monies from their Frenemies merch, which really released right after they had the biggest break. So I'm going to show you Trisha Paytas. I'm going to show you kind of the break of what happened. Mind you, there have been multiple blow-ups on the Frenemies podcast, but I'll show you the last one that ended everything. Trisha has been on Frenemies and called Ethan's wife, Hila, a C word. Like, it's gone there. So she's just very, very, and she lies. She lies a lot. There have been many things out there, like, because currently right now she's pregnant, and that's wonderful. It's great. That's something she's always wanted. But in the past, in all her videos, she's always said that she could not get pregnant. So, like, even there is just, like, one of the biggest lies that have been told. Because she's always said, like, I cannot get pregnant. I cannot get pregnant. I cannot get pregnant, this, that, and other. And it's a blessing after all this time thinking that you couldn't be pregnant and then actually getting pregnant. Obviously, that is a blessing, but it's just kind of like, okay, what went down? And there's been allegations that she's made against like past teachers of hers that like don't really match up. She has kind of hopped from different religions, and people have felt offended within those religions that she was just kind of like using it for clickbait or like trolling and this, that, and other. So this is just the extreme of Trisha. I'll get this up one sec. If you don't know who Trisha is. Oh goodness. Welcome to the madness.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't know what to do. He's blocked me.
This is when she was going through a breakup with one of her exes. Alright.
Tell me.
Yes.
They're not being dramatic. This is the only place I'm finding you blocked me. Or for me, she asked me if he's okay, so he must have known I was over there. I texted him and I said I was going to your house. And he told her to tell me to get out. Oh my god.
Yeah,
I've done this once before.
She
110,000 times. You're like, oh sorry, I gave you a C. Blocked me.
Ooh. Trisha. Trisha. So, I don't know if you guys get the point. She's highly dramatic. This is when she was going through a breakup with one of her exes. everything is posted. She's literally one who posts every part of her life. Like, she would have hours long videos she was posting. So we knew it all. We knew everything. We were following along and everything. So Trisha, once she was like in a lot of shit. But when she got frenemies is when she had like this redemption arc. She became somebody that people were willing to listen to and take seriously. She was making all this money. She had these eyes on her. She was respected. Like, everybody wanted to be on frenemies. Everybody was looking in. What were they going to say? What was going to happen? Da 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 da. And so it's like, now you're on frenemies, getting a little money, getting a little check, kind of getting a little big-headed. And they had an issue with the production costs, pretty much. And Trisha feeling like she wasn't getting enough money from like the highlights that were being put up, and she wasn't getting paid enough money, and she wanted this 5%, and like there was a whole thing, you guys. But at the end of the day, Ethan put all of this money into the production of the actual show, like the set and everything. He put his money and she didn't put anything in. So he was feeling like she was getting more and over what it was that she was supposed to get, and that she was being greedy. So their relationship like broke down very fast. Like, it was great, and then it got bad. It got bad. Frenemies ending fight. So, and then the lawsuit that they're going through now is because of the merch that they released. When everything was good, they made the merch and whatnot, but then they broke up. They still had all this merch that was being made. So Ethan was like, what the fuck do I do with all this merch that I have, and we don't even fucking have a show anymore? So he released the payment. Apparently, like, we were told that she was still going to be getting paid money for it. Although she said via many of her videos that she didn't want anything from it. So yeah, that sweatshirt I showed you guys, like, she's wanting like over like $300,000 of unpaid fees from like them making money off of it. So like that merch, the sweatshirt I showed you guys, is what they're talking about with their lawsuit. She also is going to do the lawsuit against these drama channels, apparently, for defamation of character. So this is the breakdown. This is the fight. It's 5 minutes. I'm not gonna play the whole thing.
Work you do and stuff like that, but it's awesome.
But it just kind of gives you an insight if you don't know who this woman is at all, if you've never watched Frenemies, if you've never... if you have literally no fucking clue what I'm talking about. I think you should look her up. She's very interesting, but it is a lot. I'm gonna tell you that right now. And it's very hard to explain it all in like one. It's a whole thing, but I'm sure there are many videos online that explains like the whole timeline and history. But we're gonna be like following where this lawsuit goes, what happens with this, because there are drama channels that Sebastian Soto, if you don't follow him, go ahead and do that. He's a drama channel. He does a lot of Trisha news, and he does lives at 6 p.m. He's in LA, so like he does lives every day. And so apparently this person comes on, he does like have people like call in and whatnot like that, and this person gets on and is like calling him the F word, like slurs and stuff, saying, how does it feel of you like making money off of talking shit about a pregnant woman, and like going the fuck in. And then you hear, shut up, Moses. And Moses is the husband of Trisha. So it's like, is that Trisha who called into the live and was like using slurs and being an asshole to Sebastian? Is it just somebody trolling to make it seem like it's Trisha? Is it maybe Trisha's sister? Like, it's like all this shit. So like, it's a whole bunch of drama, y'all. But this is Trisha. I'm gonna show you guys. This is their ending fight, where it ended it all. Mind you, Ethan went through a lot with her. There have been other situations and fights. This just happens to be the biggest one that ended it all. So and they did a lot of like dressing up. So just warning now, they're dressed up as the Addams Family. That movie where the lady married Uncle Fester to like take his money and was gonna like kill him. So she's dressed up as her. and then Ethan's gonna be dressed up as Uncle Fester. So here it goes.
It's also like not that
I have
great.
not seen this in a minute,
like,
so
well, we hire like all this stuff like that. I don't get.
it's
I
good
don't,
to see it again because it's just like, damn, it really went
because
bad.
it's frenemies and you take the budget for paying the crew. That's what you told me. You take highlights.
See, so this is them fighting on air about their fucking contract. Shit nobody needs to know about, but they did this stuff all the time. That's why people watched it. And it's called frenemies because they started off not liking each other at all, but through the process they started being friends and doing certain things and this, that, and other. It's a great concept. But that's why it's called frenemies. But then the cracks and everything started to show, and especially when Trisha and Moses started getting together and dating. Moses is Ethan's brother-in-law, Hila's brother. So once then Trisha and Moses started dating, it really started to just affect all of this shit even more. So here they go.
You take 5% to pay the crew.
No,
so why don't I get any input?
She
on
was
the crew
making so much money, and she put literally nothing into like the making of their set and everything. Yes, it's very simple, but like the microphones, the computers, the people who are actually working in production, they have an actual team. Like she put nothing into any of that, but she's complaining on air about her feeling like she's not getting paid enough
for what we do.
These are employees of our
So why are you taking
company.
highlights and 5% of frenemies? You told me that it was to pay them, that they could be working
for production costs.
Okay, but you told me.
And Ethan, he has his own show. They have H3. So Frenemies was a podcast on H3's channel. So all these people working who are in the background are with H3. Frenemies is just a subsect of H3. So like literally he's doing all that back work, y'all. All of that. Hold on real quick.
It's for
at the
production
beginning,
costs.
you told me at the beginning it's like they could be working on other things. Because I made
Yes.
an argument too. I'm like, well, they're already H3. Oh, they could be working on other things. So I'm like, okay, in that
It's
case.
for production costs.
It's just
I
very
take five-
greedy.
I take 5% extra
It's
from
so
the
greedy,
podcast
Trisha.
revenue, and I
You're
take the
getting paid
highlights revenue,
so much.
and everything else we split.
Right. So for production costs.
Yeah.
But again, you were about to move us all to downtown LA, and I was just like, but the production costs should be included.
Yeah.
You were
All
going to
of
share
this
the
is
cameras
done on
because
air.
Dan said, "Oh, we have to get new computers and new cameras." Well, I'm like,
We found office. We're going to be there next week. It's good. And then you're like, oh, I don't want to go down there. And well, we had made all these plans to move the set.
She doesn't want to move the set. She doesn't want to do anything.
Like,
I've given
it's
you
crazy.
50% of all the members, even though we work and do all of the work.
50%.
I don't know why you fight me on money. The deal you have
Right.
is beyond reasonable.
It's beyond
No, but I feel like a lot
reasonable.
of frustration you have about everything with them.
frustrated. When I'm bringing stuff up, you get.
Now, does she not seem frustrated, y'all? And she's going to tell him, I'm not frustrated.
Defensive. I'm not frustrated. I'm
Yes,
pointing
you
out
are.
these things because I would like to know. I just want everything to be a lot more transparent because I'm like, what are the production
I
costs?
can't be more transparent.
Can you show me all the costs of production
It's
that you?
not like an itemized thing. We are doing the show. That's
Right.
the
They
cost.
put on the show.
5%
They
is
did.
like
You
enough,
literally just
for
show
the
up.
5%
She literally
on the
would
highlights.
just show the fuck up. That's all she had to
we
do.
agreed to at the
It
beginning.
was
That's
getting
what it is.
Oh my god.
paid.
Okay, if you think that's what it's worth, okay.
It's worth.
I don't do, but
So all this is on air, them talking about their money.
There's levels.
If I was
Okay.
upset, I
Well,
wouldn't
I'm just
show up.
She's
explaining
saying
it.
she's not
Because you can
upset,
be
but-
upset and still show up.
But I'm not
Okay,
upset, and that's
okay.
gaslighting
Clearly
me,
she's
because you're saying
upset.
I'm gaslighting
I'm
you by saying.
gaslighting you. You're not
Right.
upset.
So he's saying, Trisha, you're gaslighting me because he's like, you're getting upset. And she's like, I'm not upset. Well, actively being upset. So then she gets upset that he's saying that he's feeling gaslit because clearly you're fucking upset.
You're perfectly.
Oh, wow.
You're in a perfect condition right now.
Okay. Wow. Holy cow, that's crazy.
After she started this whole thing.
I mean, I don't know how you. I just don't see what you just did. That's really.
What did I do?
I think we have to end it now. Like really,
What did I do?
we gotta stop for real.
A mess.
Really, we need to
Okay.
stop.
Yep.
Then that you just did that. You're right. You're
I don't know
right.
what I
Nothing's
just
wrong
said.
with you. That's. But I go. You don't know how much therapy I go to a week. I go to 4
But
Zoom
Trisha,
sessions a
you
week.
can't-
No,
I understand,
you
but
can-
So Trisha says, and this is one of the other lies or whatever, because she says that she's schizophrenic, she has borderline, and all these other things. Yet she's throughout her years, she's been on YouTube for like 10 years. She's one of those OG YouTubers, and throughout all these years, she says that she's had all these diagnoses and whatnot. And she's getting therapy for everything, and then in the next breath she's saying, oh well, I really wasn't diagnosed with this. So there's never like a true understanding of what she actually has, because she says one thing and then says another thing. So it's like you don't really, but then when she needs to use it, she'll bring it up. It's crazy.
And what you
All right.
just said was, "You're right, Trisha. Everything's fine." That's insane. Like the fact that you did.
Yeah,
that
because
to
you're
me,
gonna sit there and act like you're not
Insane.
upset
We're
here.
That was so nice.
Friendly conversation.
I think we have to end it now. Like,
A mess.
We shouldn't have got pizza.
Yeah, every time I got
Alright.
pizza it was a mess.
So
Say, I'm sorry.
So he really tried
Obviously,
to bring
I
it
don't
back
wanna get in an
around,
argument over
but
it.
she wasn't having it.
All right, we're
And
done. Thank
therefore,
you guys.
because of this was the last fight, okay? And this is what ended, and she gets up and she fucking leaves. Now, that is Trisha. That's what ended their fucking frenemies. But Trisha has gotten right mean, and this man, Ethan, has really been there for her. I'm going to show you guys this one more thing, then I'm getting off of here. There's even a frenemies fight compilation. That's how it was fucking getting. What the fuck? Why is this acting like this? Hold up. Like, my computer is spazzing. Can y'all see that? It's like, well, what is happening? Hold on. Okay, so I don't know what that was about, but this is literally like a compilation of their fights.
it's more iconic. We'll see by the TikTok views.
Should we make up or are we hating?
I'm literally over it. I'm so over it. I don't
Really?
even care if
I'm
Moses
not.
breaks up with me over this. Bye.
Why would Moses break up over a podcast?
Because I don't like his family.
See?
And I don't like hanging out with you guys, and you guys are awful, and that's it.
Literally.
And yeah, I said it.
But you liked me when we started.
No, I was trying to be nice and fun, but I actually don't really. What else do you want to talk about? Let's talk.
Should we resolve this issue?
No, I'm
before
over
we
it.
end
I'm
Like,
so
Trisha
over it.
was
I'm
You just
so,
said let's talk.
like,
I'm not being
Ethan
nice,
gave
I'm
her
over it.
so
You
many
just said let's
chances,
talk.
y'all.
Because you said,
So
oh, you're
many
turning down. I'm like,
chances.
I'll talk.
You overestimate your influence.
Oh, I know how you guys are with him. Oh my God, Trisha did this. Oh my God, Trisha did that. Are we?
Like,
I'm up-
she
okay,
legit.
fine.
And
And that's why you're so mean to people on the internet, and I get it. But also,
This is
don't take it out on
11-minute
people and call
video.
them crazy and shit.
no, I
This is
apologize.
just one, but I want to get to the, which one was
I
it?
think
The one that was
I
just
do think you're a good
completely
person,
awful.
and I am
Was it this
us to
one?
be with the kid every
Yes.
single moment when you are.
That's totally fine if he
yeah.
wants to. If he doesn't
So
want to,
Trisha
then
was
he
trying to
wants
make it seem like Ethan and his wife Ela were bad parents because they have a nanny, and they should not have a nanny because that means you're just so not spending time with the child. And Ethan's trying to explain to Trisha, look, you don't really have kids. Like, which, yes, we know that can be offensive, but like, don't tell us like having a nanny means that we're not being good parents because we have to work. People send their kids to daycare, people send their kids to and have their families watch them, they have babysitters, they have nannies, whatever works for them because they have to work. Not everybody can sit at home and do nothing all day. And Trisha was saying, well, then you need to have your family care for the child then. I don't think it's right that you just have a random person. And they're like, well, my family has lives themselves. Of course they help out sometimes, but they also have lives themselves. So, like, she was a whole ass trying to make it seem like Trisha, that Ela and Ethan, Ela's not pictured, but Ela and Ethan were bad parents because they have a nanny.
So,
Yeah, like everybody does with kids.
Yeah.
They quit everything they do.
when you have
Right.
a kid, you should try and be with it as much as possible, not
Be with
just
it?
stranger.
Yeah, that's right, be with it. But that's not
Tabby's not a
realistic.
stranger.
She's not your family.
Dan's not. I mean, Dan.
She's fuck another text from your sister. I'm not coming back to the house. I'm not.
And she would always bring family into it. So you hear Moses, who
said what
was her
happened.
boyfriend at the time,
You know,
now
this is the
husband,
literal meme
in
where
the
you walk in
background.
with the pizza
That's
and the
not
room's on
Moses,
fire.
by the
This
way.
is the literal meme where you
But
come back with the pizza.
That's Moses right there.
Oh my god. This is literally. She's really upset because she was saying how Ela doesn't like
Oh,
her.
Ela says, don't talk about me on the podcast. All I said was just shove the guest. He's like, we can't mention Ela. She doesn't want me to talk about, oh, she's too good for a fucking podcast. Even though we were talked about, they never once consulted me at
I
the beginning
said
of
it's a
spring. She has a fucking podcast. I brought life to the fucking H3 channel, but oh, Ela's too fucking good to even mention her name. I said nothing bad. I said,
Ela
like,
is
oh,
his
shove her as a
wife
guest or whatever.
she
Like, I
is
don't even
talking
mention Ela.
about.
She doesn't want to be talked about. Fuck.
That's when he calls, she just called Ela the C word. She's talking about his wife because there was a whole bunch of drama going on behind the scenes, and Ela was feeling like, look, just like, don't bring me up, it's creating drama with the family and this, that, and other. Then Trisha took offense because she was like, oh, you're too good to be talked about on our channel, even though like you guys talk about our shit all the time, talking about her and Moses. So she's getting upset about that, and Ethan was like, that's not what the fuck I'm trying to say to you, like, listen. And it's just, She just
Literally, I
calls
don't wanna come
Hila
back.
a C-word.
Really upset because she was saying how Hila doesn't like her.
Hila says, don't talk about me on the podcast. All I said was just shove the guest. He's like, we can't mention Hila. She doesn't want me to talk about, oh, she's too good for a fucking podcast. Even though we were talked about, they never once insulted me at the beginning of the spring. She has a fucking podcast. I brought life to the fucking H3 channel, but oh, Hila's too fucking good to even mention her name. I said nothing bad. I said like, oh, we should have her as a guest or whatever. Like that. Don't even mention Hila. She doesn't want me to talk about. Fuck.
Okay.
Like, what?
Literally, I don't want to come back because I really fucking hate her.
And he took her back on the show after this, you guys. This was not the end. That first clip I showed you was the end. This was not the end.
That's why on the podcast, and you're like, don't fucking mention Hila. She's the one to talk about. Oh, a fucking queen. You guys talk about my shit all the time, but her, don't fucking mention her name. Dumb fucking bitch.
That's not true shit.
I think we should end it, honestly.
Yeah, I think so too.
All on the air.
She's such a fucking bitch.
She's not.
Called her a C-word.
You
Called him a cuckold.
Alright, you should leave. We'll talk later. Yeah, you should get out.
I am going, but we're not talking later. Fucking bitch, you too.
So that is Trisha Paytas. Told you it was a lot. So we're gonna be following the situation with Trisha, the shit that she's gonna get into, because I'm interested in it. I'm gonna see what's gonna happen with this lawsuit, because there is such a thing as like free speech, and I just really don't see, like, she's trying to do this defamation of character thing that Johnny won because he actually proved that Amber defamed him. It's not the same situation, Trisha. It's just not. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. But I appreciate you guys if you've made it to the end of this very, very fucking long video. I'll catch you guys a little bit later. Bye.